A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen, staff and students, and everyone watching us live from around the world. Welcome to this beautiful conference on uniting religions through spiritual wisdom. We invoke the blessings of the Almighty and our gratitude to Sadhguru Sri Madhusudan Sai. Dignitaries seated on the dais, faith leaders and scholars, ambassadors, high commissioners, senior officials from the various embassies, and everyone seated here, welcome. This conference has been presented by the Sri Sathya Sai University for Human Excellence. Spirituality is the bedrock of all religions the world over. Irrespective of their masters, the origin, the doctrines, the rituals, there has always been an underlying unity in the very goal and the unifying message of all religions. Imbibing the values for life from religion helps one live spirituality in everyday life. And today, on this very beautiful morning, we are indeed blessed to have amongst us accomplished faith leaders who continue to serve the world by making life and living better and more meaningful. We take this opportunity to welcome and extend our gratitude and love to our dignitaries on the dais. His Grace, Cardinal Anthony Pula, Cardinal of the Catholic Church, India. Geshe Lode Sangpo, Tenzing Gyatso, scholar from the Gandhin Changse Monastery, India. Dr. A.K. Merchant, General Secretary, Temple of Understanding India Foundation, and member of the National Spirituality Assembly of the Baha'is of India and Lotus Temple. Dr. Hafizur Rahman, Founder President, Sufi Peace Foundation, India. Today, we're also extremely happy and delighted to welcome amidst us leaders from various countries who represent their countries in India. We would like to extend our deep gratitude to them for taking time out today and coming all the way from Delhi to be with us and be a part of this wonderful morning and the 2 days of the conference. His Excellency, Mr. Ganbol Jambawat, Ambassador Designate, Embassy of Mongolia. Her Excellency, Ms. Jacqueline Mukangira, High Commissioner, Republic of Rwanda. His Excellency, Mr. Charandar Parsad, High Commissioner, Cooperative Republic of Guyana. Ms. Monica Campos, Deputy Chief of Mission, Embassy of the Republic of Peru. His Excellency, Dr. Rauja Gopal, High Commissioner, Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Ms. Ria A. Sital, Charge d'Affaires, Embassy of the Republic of Suriname. Mr. Kakim Zanov Ardav, First Secretary, Embassy of the Republic of Kazakhstan. Our hearty welcome to all the dignitaries once again, and our gratitude to Sadhguru Sri Madhusudan Sai, social and spiritual leader, the founder of the Sri Sathya Sai University for Human Excellence, and the vision behind this global conference. May we now invite all the dignitaries on the dais to light the lamp, symbolizing an auspicious beginning this morning.
Tamaso ma Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Unity is the foundation for global harmony. And what better way to celebrate unity than to chant the verses of the sacred texts of various religions, symbolizing that all religions are united and lead us to the same wisdom and divinity. The paths may be many, but the goal is one. We will commence this morning's proceedings with a multi-faith prayer by the staff and students of our university, and they will be representing various religions.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Samsamidhyuvase Vrishannagne Vishwaanyarya Ilaspade Samidyase Sanovasunya Bhara Sangachadhvam Samvadadhvam Samvomanansi Janatam Deva bhagay yatha purve sanjanana upasate Samano mantra samiti samani samanam manassaha chittame esham Samanam mantram abhimantra eva samane navo havisha juhomi Samani va akuti samana hridayani vaha Samanamastu vo mano yatha vassu sahasati Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Sai Ishwararpanamastu.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Sallallahu ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Sallallahu ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Sallallahu ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد آمين.
Yo vadatam pavaro manu Jesu Sathya muni bhagavakata kicho Paragato balavirya samangi Tansugatam saranattamupemi Ragaviragamanejamasokan Dhammama sankatamapatikulang Madhuramimam pagunang suvibattang Dhammamimam saranattamupemi Yatta ca dinna mahapalamaho Chatusu sucisu purisa yugesu Atta ca puggala dhammadasate Sangamimam saranattamupemi
सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भव निर्वैर अकाल मूरत अजूनी सैभं गुरु प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच। नमो हरिहन्ताणं ॐ नमो सिद्धाणं ॐ नमो आयर्याणं ॐ नमो उभजायाणं नमो लोये सवसाहूणं एसो पञ्चणमोक्कारो सवपावपणासनो मङ्गलाणं च सव्वेसिं परमं हवै मङ्गलं परमं हवै मङ्गलम्।
Ashadachitasha Vangyush Dazdamaningo Shontyonana Angyush Majdai Shatrum Shai Ahurai Ayum Dare Gopyo Dadadvastare Yatahuvaryo Yataratish Ashatachitashat Vangyush Dazdamaningo Shontyonana Angyush Majdai Shatrum Shai Ahurai Ayum Dare Gopyo Dadadvastare Ashimvahu Vaishtam Hasti Ushta Hasti Ushtaham Mai Yahatashai Vaistai Ashim.
O my God, unite the hearts of thy servants and reveal to them thy great purpose. May they follow thy commandments and abide in thy law. Help them, O God, in their endeavor and grant them strength to serve thee. O God, leave them not to themselves, but guide their steps. by the light of thy knowledge, and cheer their hearts by thy love. Verily, thou art their helper and their Lord.
May we now request Sadhguru Shri Madhusudan Sai to unveil the logo of this conference. Today, we see the need of the hour is to make religion relevant to common man, especially to the next generation, to bring back the balance between material and spiritual life. This is most important so that people of the world move as harmonious and peaceful individuals who can coexist and contribute to collective prosperity by living in the awareness of spiritual oneness. And for this, dialogue is the norm. The new generation cannot be hushed into silence upon questioning certain beliefs, but rather they need to be encouraged to understand and experience the inherent spiritual truths for themselves. This two-day conference will bring together a confluence of spiritual masters, philosophers, theologians, and motivational speakers from different spheres of religious practice and studies to present a refreshing approach to religion so as to secure its anchor in the unity of its abundant spiritual wisdom. We will now have the inaugural video of this global conference. May we have the video, please?
Uniting religions through spiritual wisdom, to cultivate the basic values and to unearth the true purpose of human birth, lies as a common singular objective for all religions. One spark illuminates all, and the entire creation has come out of the same divine principle. Just as the same electric current illuminates bulbs of different colors and different sizes, so too, the same divinity animates and activates everything and everyone. It is of utmost importance to recognize that while various religions are like schools that have different mediums of instruction, timetable, uniforms, and structures, each teaches the very same syllabus of spiritual oneness of all existence in its own way. A thorough study of the philosophical aspect of all religions, and not a superficial glimpse on the surface differences, can lead to their harmonious coexistence. Presented by the Sri Sathya Sai University for Human Excellence, the Global Conference on Uniting Religions Through Spiritual Wisdom will bear witness to discussions with religious and spiritual luminaries about the role of religion in the modern world. With sessions on the themes of religion for the common man, religion and spirituality, religion for the next generation, and the messenger and the message, the talks and discussions will expound the underlying unity in the message of all religions and will engage, inspire, and empower the next generation to rediscover the true spirit of religion. This conference marks a concerted attempt to broaden the vision and expand the understanding that one truth can be expressed in a myriad ways, creating a better world for the next generation to cohesively live with harmony, peace, and dignity.
On behalf of all of us, may we please pray to Sadhguru Shri Madhusudan Sai to deliver the inaugural address.
सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखमाप्नुयात्. An old ancient Indian prayer. Let all be happy. May all be healthy, especially in these times. May everyone see only good and auspicious everywhere. May no one have any sorrow. This prayer has risen from the soils of India, because India is a land where all religions converge. Perhaps the only land in the world where there are so many religions that coexist in harmony. Today, this very topic of making religion relevant to the society, especially to the next generation, was thought of as one of the most important topics to be discussed in these times. And we all know why. 85% of the world subscribes to some religion or the other. It's only 15%, and the tribe of which is growing by the day, who do not affiliate themselves with any religion whatsoever. They take pride in saying they are non-religious or atheists. But today the need of the hour is that 85% of the world still believes in some God, some form of religion, some practices, some philosophy, and they need to be guided on the right path. That can be a uniting factor. And that is why today the university has organized this particular conference, and we are very happy to have you all here amidst us to share your wisdom, to share your experiences, to share the truth in so many different ways with the students, staff, devotees, and all the participants from around the world who have joined us live. May I extend our warmest welcome to all the dignitaries who are seated on the stage and also off stage. There are many ambassadors from various countries and officials who have made it here. Welcome to all of you. And today's speakers and chief guests, main guests today are, of course, Cardinal Anthony Pola. Thank you so much for making it here to be with us and to share your thoughts on Christianity with all of us. We also have Mr. Merchant, whom I met recently, a person from Baha'i faith. And again, we welcome you amidst us. From the Buddhism, to teach us about the principles of the great Buddha, we have Geshe Sangpo with us, who is going to share his wisdom. We also have Hafizur Rahmanji, who is of the Sufi faith, an offshoot of the Islamic faith, the philosophical aspect, and we will look forward to listening to you as well. We also have ambassadors and officials from various countries, and I welcome them all to this gathering. Because we hail from this land of India, and one of the ancient scriptures, which is the fundamental scripture of Indian thought, is Vedas. And Rig Veda is one of the oldest scriptures amongst the Vedas. And in Rig Veda, thought comes, Ano Badra Krunmoyantu Vishwataha. Let noble thoughts come to us from all directions, from all sides. And let us assimilate those thoughts and understand them, and thereby benefit each other from that understanding. And that is the idea of conducting a conference, that noble thoughts come to us from all religions, from all faiths, from all philosophies, from around the world. And that is the idea why this conference has been organized. I offer our collective gratitude to Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, who is the founding light father of these institutions. And he taught the world. He taught the world that there is only one religion, the religion of love. There is only one caste, the caste of humanity. There is only one language, the language of the heart. And there is only one God, He is omnipresent. This was Baba's teaching to the world. And we know it's so relevant in today's times. In fact, you would see that our university logo carries the symbols of all major religions of the world, which are representative of all other minor religions as well. The idea is to bring them all together into one symbol. So when we teach our students in the university, we make them understand that we follow the philosophy, the idea of love, which is embedded in all religions of the world. Religions were created to unite mankind, to bind them together in one thought and philosophy. And what can bind people together more than love? We all want to be loved. We all want to share our love with others. That is why Baba calls that the true religion that can bind or unite everybody is love. And it can be in many ways. It can be spoken, experienced, or practiced in many ways. And so he's right when he says there is only one religion which can bind or unite everybody, and that is love. I wanted to present a few thoughts to all our children who are present here, who study various religions as a part of their academic education. And they get glimpse or the philosophies of major religions of the world, which helps them appreciate the depth of each of these thoughts, each of these philosophies. To begin with, The very Indian thought says, Ishavasya Upanishad says, Ishavasyam idam sarvam yat kinchit jagatyam jagat. Whatever exists in this world is all permeated by the same divine, supreme divine. One may think, which divine is that? Is it a male? Is it a female? Is it a combination of an animal or a man? Because we have plenty of gods. Above my head, you can see a lot of Indian gods are present. But that does not mean that this particular shloka means deeper than that. It says that one supreme consciousness, that one supreme energy permeates everything. And that energy, that consciousness is called Brahma or Isha in our own way. And nobody can debate that there is only one energy that permeates everything. Even scientists cannot debate that. Energy transforms itself into matter, and matter ultimately goes back into energy form. So energy is undisputed truth of this universe. And our rishis, the saints and sages said, that energy which energizes us, that animates this entire world, that energy is the supreme. That is divine. But it is not an unconscious energy, not a mechanical force. It is a conscious energy. It is aware. It is alive. How we all know this, all kinds of science students would know. If you break down every atom, you'll find further nucleus and that protons and neutrons. Further break them down, subatomic particles. Now they call it something called God particle. I'm very happy scientists have arrived at the term God particle, despite being at loggerheads with spirituality. But nevertheless, they couldn't define it, so they called it God particle. Good beginning, I would say. But if you look into all these things, you see there is so much of space and space and space. In fact, we are all space. And atoms and molecules are held together with certain forces. You know, all the science students should know by now. Weak nuclear forces, strong nuclear forces, electromagnetic forces, and gravitational force. These are the four forces which is now known as the unified field theory, which holds the whole universe in its place. Why a moon does not come and bump into Earth, or Earth doesn't go and bump into Mercury, is only because of these forces that hold us all together. So our rishis in ancient times said this particular force that holds everything together in its place and allows everything to exist in harmony, that force is supreme divinity. And of course it has no name, no form, it's not a male, it is not a female. How can you call an energy as a male or female? How can you call energy as this or that? It is one. But it manifests, just as the law of science says, energy manifests as matter. So also this particular energy manifests in various forms. You and me and everything else, including yat kinchat jagatyam jagat, anything and everything in this world. That may sound a little difficult for many people. How can a table be God, or how can be this? No, we are not saying about a God with name and form. We are talking about God as that supreme conscious energy that holds everything together. Are there no atoms in the table, in the wood, in the steel, in the metal? Yes, there are. Are those atoms not suffused with the same force, that power that holds them all together? Yes, it is. That force, that conscious force is divinity, is how our sages have explained. And therefore, what do we do when we know that everything is divine, or the same divinity permeates everything? What should we do is the next question one should ask. And the answer is given in the same shloka, says, Tena tyaktena bunjitha maagudha kasya sviddhanam. Therefore, consume with a sense of sacrifice. Don't be greedy. Don't steal another man's wealth. Which means what? People think, no, I have earned this money by my own effort, so this is mine. And they have earned or they have not earned, that is theirs. But our Upanishads say, no. Even if you have earned it with your own effort, because you had got better opportunity, better talents, or better education, still, if it is not needed by you, and somebody needs it more than you, it rightfully belongs to the person who is more needy than you. You should not consume more than your capacity, more than your need. That would be violence. And that is one principle that all the religions teach. Love, share, charity, non-violence, harmonious existence is taught by every religion in their own way. Why we would be non-violent? Because we believe that is also me, that's an extension of me. If I hurt somebody, I hurt the same divine whom I worship. And if I love somebody, I love the same divine whom I worship. So that is the idea of Upanishad. And a few thoughts from the various philosophies for the benefit of children, which our Narasimhamurthy ji had compiled. He is the Chancellor of the University. Today, because of a little, he's under the weather, so he could not attend or join us here. But it is from his book called Sanathana Dharma, which is nothing but the combination of all religious philosophies and thoughts. So there are some thoughts here for the benefit of children. Baha'i faith, from where Mr. Merchant comes. So simple. I was just going through it. It's so touching. To be Baha'i simply means to love all the world. As simple as that. to love humanity and try to serve it, to work for universal peace and universal brotherhood. What more can you ask? This is what religion should teach our younger generation. We have the love all, serve all at the back of the auditorium. That's Baba's message. Love all. All means everything, including the environment, the birds, the bees, the plants, the trees, earth, water, soil, mountains. Everything is all. Human beings, of course, included. So that is the idea. Buddhism says, consider others as yourself. Now, if you consider others as yourself, how can you hurt? If your hand hurts your eyes, let's say by chance your finger went and hurt your eye, are you going to cut your finger away? Or are you going to take out your eye? Or if our students keep eating quite fast and they bite their tongue, are you going to break your teeth and throw them away because it has bitten the tongue? No, because you all know that all this is me only. It's not different. So is Christianity. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Thyself, not as your neighbor, but your own self. As you would love yourself, you will do for yourself, so also you should do for your neighbor. So what if your neighbor turns out to be a Buddhist or a Christian or a Hindu or a Muslim? Your neighbor is a neighbor after all. And that is why you should love. Confucianism says, what you do not want done to yourself, do not do to others. How simple. I don't want to be sad. I don't want to make anybody sad too. I want to be happy. So the corollary is also to what you want to be done to yourself, do it to others. Make them happy. Hinduism, of course, it says, Udara Charitanam tu Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The one with broad mind considers the whole world as one family. Just as we work for our own family members, so also we work for the welfare of the world. So also the religion of Islam says, none of you have faith unless he loves for his brother what he loves for himself. The same thought, love thy neighbor. Jainism says, have benevolence towards all living beings. And that says living beings because they're very particular about ahimsa. They do not want to even breathe in a microbe or something by chance. And Hasidic Judaism says, to love God truly, one must love man. And anyone tells you that he loves God and does not love his fellow men, you will know that he is lying. You can't love God without loving your fellow men, however terrible they might be around you. But you still have to love them because God resides in them. Sikhism, keep your heart content and cherish compassion for others. This way alone can your holy vow be fulfilled. This is Sikhism, cherish compassion. Taoism, see others as yourself. Again the same thought, Isha Vasyamidam Sarvam, love thy neighbor. See families as your family, see towns as your town, see countries as your country, see worlds as your world. How beautiful. We have some Zoroastrianism, happiness be the lot of those who works for the happiness of others. They only can be happy who work for others' happiness. Do unto others what you want others to do unto you. Just a glimpse of everything. I just wanted to make our children aware that how beautifully each of these thought process from every religion talks about love. Love as the fundamental core principle. And on that principle, everything else is built. How should we love? For a hungry, love has to appear as food. For somebody who is unsheltered, love should appear as a shelter. For somebody who is unclothed, love should appear as clothing. For somebody who is uneducated, love should appear as education. For somebody who is unhealthy, love should appear as health care. For somebody who is sad, love should appear as patience and kindness. For anybody and everybody, love can take so many forms. Just as the same supreme energy takes many forms, love takes many forms. In fact, I tell our teachers, sometimes I scold our students and also our teachers. And then how can you be angry with us in the moment and next moment you love us with so much of intensity? I said, I was never angry. That was another form of love. Love can come in many ways. It can come as kindness. It can come as a sweet encouragement. It can come as a very rude reprimand. It can come in many ways. The intention is love. Action may be different. That intention of love is divinity. That divinity has been spoken about in every single religion of the world. And nobody can dispute that. Nobody can dispute that. I'm not talking about names and forms and rituals and practices. That can be disputed. I eat with the right hand, you eat with left hand, I eat with hand, you eat with forks. But we eat food, right? At the end, that is what satisfies our hunger. How we eat does not make a difference to our hunger. But what we eat makes. If we don't eat, then there is a problem. So likewise, the rituals part of the religion may be different because they have originated in different lands. And you must consider the circumstances in which they have originated. The situations back then. And that is why these things are different for different people. Nothing more than that. Situations have changed. Many of the religious practices have also changed. I'll give you an example. For example, we do rituals in Hinduism, we do yajnas, let us say. I was somewhere in Canada, they had to do some griha pravesham for their house. And the priest could not travel. You know why? or there was he didn't get the visa and there were other issues, pandemic was on. So those people were in Canada and they asked me to join. I said, how do I join? He said, we are all doing a Zoom yajna. We all can join. I said, oh, this was something which is not written in any scripture, that you can do a Zoom yajna. You can call the priest from India on Zoom and you do some rituals sitting at your home because you want the house warming ceremony to continue. But considering the pandemic, you can't stop your house warming ceremony. At the same time, you can't have the priest at your place. So what do? The priest sent a list of instructions. They prepared everything, and as priest was telling online, they were doing the puja. And at the end, the housewarming was done. They got their house to stay in. What more? That's all that was needed, that they could get into their new house. And whatever it took, they did. So times have changed, religion has changed. We offer many times, we have darshans. Like for example, many people are attending this conference online on the Zoom. In the old times, it would be mandated that everybody should physically be there because there's no way you could attend it online. So things have changed. How we wear, how we eat, how we perform various activities. Even those scriptures have prescribed certain things because of the time, place, and situation in which those were written. But in today's time, place, and situation, we must reinvent religion in order to make it appealing and acceptable to this generation. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult. It's going to be very difficult to convince the new generation. And I've traveled around the world, over 30, 40 countries, and I saw many of the religious institutions were empty. In fact, they were being closed down or they were being changed into some other, like hotels, restaurants, and all that, even a motel. And I asked, why are these things happening? They said, there are no people coming for prayers. So nobody even contributes, nobody can maintain these institutions. And I wondered that 400, 500 years ago, such huge institutions were built. And I'm sure they built such big size institutions because there were so many people who were coming. They needed that much space. But today, when the population of the world has grown maybe 20 times, these institutions are empty. These buildings look big, so they want to move into a smaller space. How is it possible together at the same time? When you have population of the world increasing, 85% of the world subscribes to some thought process, some religion. At the same time, institutions are shutting down or downsizing themselves. It's very paradoxical. The reason is the younger generation asks questions. Now, our parents could shut us up. If you ask 2 questions, third question, you know what is going to happen. A nice big hand of your mother would land on your cheeks. And there ends the questioning and answering. No more. And you'll never ask another question about any ritual thereafter. But today's generation, can you tell them? You can't. Why? Because they are the questioning types, they're the curious types, they're investigating types. So unless you satisfy their curiosity, you can't get them to follow anything. I know because we deal with children from 6th class to all the way to the university. And they're very curious. The next generation is even getting curious than this. You all know, all those who are parents would know at home how difficult it is to manage the children now. And you can't threaten them, you can't scare them, you can't frighten them. They will call up some police number and you're done. As parents, you will find yourself in a new institution. But that is the situation today. So how do we deal with it? How do I make religion relevant? Should we abandon religion and say, do as you please? Then we'll become a jungle society. We'll deteriorate, we will devolve into beasts. Religion is needed. Religion is needed to keep people united and focused and keep people have a purpose. People should have a purpose of life. Can't be just eating, sleeping, making merry, making money, and dying one day. It can't be just that. Animals do that. They also kill another animal to eat and feed their family. They also protect their own kith and kin, live in packs. At the end, they all die. Are we just that or more than that? Is the question. And religion tells us that you are more than that. You are meant to do more things than just eating, sleeping, making merry, procreating, and finally dying. You are more than that. Every religion tells us about that. It talks about harmonious existence. We can't teach this to beasts. We can't teach this to others, but we can teach it to human beings. So whichever religion we belong to, we had a very beautiful opening of a hospital in Fiji Islands in the month of April. It's a pediatric cardiac hospital, and the request came from the people of Fiji because it is most of us might be familiar with Pacific island nations, and Fiji is one of the very small dot on the map. And almost 2,000 kilometers this way, that way, you don't have any other thing other than ocean. In that country, there are children born with cardiac problems, congenital problems. So we run cardiac hospitals, pediatric cardiac hospitals for free. So the request came and a hospital was inaugurated. The Prime Minister of India was there online and he was speaking, gave his message, inaugural message. And he said a very beautiful thing about Baba, Satya Sai Baba. He said, among so many religious leaders, spiritual leaders of the world that he has met in his lifetime, he has met Satya Sai Baba too. And he holds him at very high respect. Why? He says, because Satya Sai Baba de-linked rituals from spirituality and linked it to service. It's as simple as that. उन्होंने आध्यात्म को कर्मकांड से निकालकर सेवा से जोड़ दिया. This is what Prime Minister was saying. He has removed the idea of ritualistic religion and converted it into a religion that is based on love and service for humanity. And that is what the Prime Minister was appreciating. This is what I mean by reinventing religion in today's times. Children are good. You tell them, we all have to go and clean up a place, they all are ready. But tell them, so and so Lord said that we shall clean our neighborhood, nobody is going to turn up. You tell children, there are people who are hungry, we must, come together and contribute something for them. Everybody will sacrifice their pocket money for a greater cause. But you tell them, under this particular banner, we are going to do that, they are going to shy away from it. Parents tell me this, their children are good children, they love to help, they love to serve, but tell them to come to a temple and they'll find 100 excuses not to come. They don't want to follow any of those ritualistic practices, but they want to be good. And now this fad is going on. We are spiritual but not religious. I do not know what that truly means, because religion cannot exist without spirituality. Spirituality cannot exist without religion. They complement each other in some way or the other. So there is this idea of religion that we must reinvent it in modern times. And as the population of the world increases, India has a huge responsibility. In a year, we will be the world's most populous country. And we'll have the maximum number of young people inhabiting this particular country. And even in the world, the population of youngsters will be much more than the people who are retiring. And they need an idea, they need purpose, they need an understanding which is beyond the narrow domestic ideas of this and that, mine and thine. This idea, these walls have to be broken. And in today's times when the conflict around the world is increasing by the day, we all know there are two kinds of conflict. One is economic conflict, that is all greed for power and more authority, or there are religious conflicts where we don't understand or subscribe to each other's thought process, and so we fight. And these are the two things that are making the world worse by the day. And who is going to suffer? Who is going to suffer? The common man will suffer, who is neither a president or a prime minister, nor is a religious leader or a social or spiritual head of any organization. It's the common people, the poor and the downtrodden who will suffer. So for their sake, in the idea that may all the world be happy, may all the world be healthy, may everybody see good and auspicious everywhere, may no one have any sorrow. This is the world that our Lord, our God, our Supreme Father, whichever name you call him by, has created this world for, so that we all live in harmony as brothers and sisters and sing his glory. And more than anything, realize that love that our Lord or our Father, our whoever, whichever name the Brahma has decided to give us. He has gifted us with this ability to love, which is not there for everyone. To love purely, to love selflessly is given to mankind. And this is something that we have to realize as the outcome of our religious practices. I'm speaking on behalf of both Sri Narasimha ji, who could not come, and on my behalf, therefore I've taken a little longer, and you must pardon me for that. But at the end of it, that's all I want to say. In the final analysis, we are not going to be asked when we meet our Creator, as they say, how many buildings you built, how much wealth you have accumulated, how many children and grandchildren you have had, how many positions you held, how many rules or policies you framed. He's not going to ask us all these things. What is he going to ask us? What did you eat for your breakfast? No. He's going to ask us how many people you loved. How many people you loved seeing me in them. How many people you loved as your own self. That's all he wants to know, or she wants to know, or it wants to know, whichever way you put it. Nothing else is needed at that point in time. In the final analysis, this is all is going to be asked of us. And nothing else will work for us. And that's why Indian thought says, Nanya panthaya naya vidyate. There is no other way. This is the only way. What is the way to realize that divinity in everyone, in everything, in ourselves, and thereby be able to love everyone, care for everyone, serve everyone. All love must manifest as service. We can't say, I love you and I don't want to do anything for you. Love will automatically translate itself into service. So the religion which is founded on the principles of love and service is the true religion. It's the religion that is needed in these times. Times have changed. It's not what it was in 500 AD or 500 BC. This is the time when religion needs to be relooked at from the point of view of a new generation, which has kind of turning away from these religious ideas, which is trying to find its own way and path. It's good, it could be, it's a nice thing, but at the end, if we do not discover ourselves in our religion, we do not find our true selves, our religion will become redundant, it will become a relic, it will become a museum piece in some time. And that shouldn't happen because it is necessary for keeping the society together in a harmony. Therefore, I appeal to all the leaders who have come here, faith leaders and spiritualists and social leaders also, to share this kind of thought process with them. Let us unite in this idea of loving all, serving all, and let us redefine our religion based on this spiritual idea of oneness. May all of you benefit from this conference. May the ideas that are generated, may the thoughts that have been discussed, may the dialogues that have happened, the conversations that take place, enrich your understanding of religion and philosophy and spirituality. May the world become a better place than what we have inherited from our forefathers. May leave behind a legacy of a better, harmonious, peaceful world after us. With this thought, this conference has been organized. Once again, I thank everybody, welcome you all to this conference, and I hope and pray that we all would benefit and benefit many others in this process of learning and sharing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sadhguru. It is indeed a blessed opportunity for all of us to be here this morning. And brothers and sisters, over the course of today and tomorrow, we will be listening to all these esteemed dignitaries who will be sharing their thoughts on this topic of uniting religions through spiritual wisdom. On behalf of all of us, we would like to extend our love and gratitude to everyone seated on the dais, Your Grace Cardinal Anthony Pula, Cardinal of the Catholic Church. Geshe Lodo Sangpola from the Janden Janse Monastery. Dr. A.K. Merchant, General Secretary, Temple of Understanding, India Foundation. And Dr. Hafizur Rahman, Founder President of the Sufi Peace Foundation, India. Our deep respects and reverence to everyone. We will now conclude this inaugural session, and we will be back in 10 minutes for the first technical session. Thank you.